What's up, everybody? It's your boy Matt. Just wanted to touch on. I just got finished watching First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, and before I get into the segment I was watching, I just want to let you know I'm wearing a hat this morning because we're not far away from opening weekend. I want to say we're about a week, two weeks away. Yeah, 2 weeks away from opening weekend, and we're gonna put that work in it on the Cowboys. So nothing against the Cowboys, but we're gonna put that work in. All right. So anyway, getting back to my point, I'm listening to Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman talk about, should Conor box again, and is he gonna take another fight, and should Dana let his guy box again? Let me say a couple things. One, I don't know what type of contractual obligations Conor has, and I mean, he's a grown man. Is he an independent athlete? Are athletes independent that are in individual sports? I don't know. I mean, to me, if a grown man wants to fight again and he can get sanctioned by one of the state athletic commissions to box against whomever, what's another man in a different sport got to do with that? So I don't know. I don't know UFC like that. If you guys know, please chime in the comments below. Let me know. But anyway, getting back to my point, I heard a lot of talking about how good Conor looked, and let me just say this. First, to reiterate what those guys said, and this is something that I said on Saturday night as I watched the fight, were Conor McGregor in there against a killer, a Canelo Alvarez, a Terrence Bud Crawford, a Triple G, that fight, I mean, he would have been lucky to get out of the third round. And that's nothing against Conor. Conor's an amazing fighter. I've watched him in the UFC, and I know what he can do. Boxing's a completely different sport. And the fact that, so let me get to my next point. Oh, Conor looked good. Conor looked good. I'm not going to take that away from him. Conor looked good to stand in there with Floyd Mayweather for 10 rounds. Yeah, he looked good. He showed, I'm not going to say he has ring generalship at all, but what I will say is that the way he rolled, and I was surprised. Floyd Mayweather's not a knockout puncher. He's not a stalker. And let me just say this. The reason, and this is something that neither Stephen A. or Max mentioned, which I'm surprised Max didn't go into it, having covered boxing for so long. Conor McGregor looked good because Floyd Mayweather fought a style that's not his own. Floyd could have easily made Conor look bad by fighting like Floyd Mayweather fights. Floyd Mayweather is a guy that makes you miss punches, and he pot shots you until your face turns red and your eyes swell up. And no, he's not going to knock you out. He's going to beat you up. And Floyd, in my opinion, didn't beat Conor up. I mean, yeah, he went off on him in the 10th round. But, people talked about Conor getting tired. The fight I watched, there was a reason Conor got tired. Yeah, he's fighting in a different sport. He's used to fighting no more than 5-minute rounds. And now he's out here in deep water having to fight what could have been 36 minutes, 12 3-minute rounds. And the thing is, Conor didn't get tired just because he was boxing. He got tired because Floyd was putting in body work. And those body punches add up. They accumulate. I've seen guys recover from getting their head snapped in boxing, snap back or whatever. I've seen guys go down and get up and win boxing matches. But I've never seen a guy take a volume of body punches over 5, 6, 7 rounds and recover his stamina. You just don't get it back. The only way to get that back is to go home, take a shower, jump in an ice bath, get something to eat, whatever, go to sleep. That's how you get that stamina back from the body work punches, okay? Body punches. And so there was a reason Conor was tired. I mean, yes, he did have to box. He had to move around a boxing ring using nothing but his hands versus where he's used to being in a sport where he could kick, punch, grapple, whatever, tackle, whatever. So it's a different type of fight for him, but body punches make you tired. So now that aside, let me get back to the point. Conor hit Mayweather with some shots that I was surprised. I was surprised he got him. I'm like, wow, he actually clipped him with a counter uppercut here. Right? He slipped out of the way. Boom, here's an uppercut there. Here's a solid left jab there. He caught Mayweather with some shots. But let me say this: the fact that Mayweather was brave enough to come forward against a guy who supposedly has knockout fight-stopping power, which he does perhaps in the UFC, but not in he doesn't have. Conor McGregor does not have boxing knockout power. If he did, Floyd is smart enough not to come forward. If he did, a couple of those power punches he caught Floyd with would have buckled him. So the fact that Floyd Mayweather comes forward on a guy who supposedly has fight-stopping power says he probably doesn't have fight-stopping power. Because if he did, I mean, you saw that. I can't remember the round now. It was, a couple nights ago, whatever. But Conor McGregor, he looked good because Floyd is not a knockout puncher, and he came forward and was there to be hit. So Floyd, in effect, chased a guy. And the other thing, if Floyd were a knockout puncher, I looked at how Floyd chased Conor around to Conor's rolling. He's a southpaw, so he's rolling around to his right, and Floyd's chasing him around the circle. Now, what a knockout puncher does is he steps left and cuts the ring off because he wants to knock your head off. Floyd never cut the ring off. He just kind of chased him around. And so, I listened to the post-fight press conference, and Floyd talked about the game plan that he and his team had, and it was evident. It was evident to me what he was trying to do. I mean, anybody who follows boxing knows that, okay, Conor wants to go in there and prove that he's a knockout puncher, and so he's going to go in there and try to knock Floyd out in the first 3, 4, 5 rounds or whatever. And so Floyd and them, that's apparent. So they prepared well for that. But number two, they prepared in the way that they did because, let me say that. Floyd made Conor look good because Floyd is not a knockout puncher, and he was there to get hit, and he came forward. So Conor's going to look good. If Floyd wanted to make Conor look bad, Floyd could have boxed him a la Floyd Mayweather and made Conor look very bad. I mean, come on, Floyd has made ring killers look bad. You watched him in the Canelo Alvarez fight. Saw Canelo Alvarez basically could not hit him. Okay, Marcos Maidana, he was in there with Juan Marquez. These are guys that are known for stopping guys hurting guys, putting them on their backs. And Floyd made them look bad swinging at the air. Floyd could have done that with Conor. He chose to come forward. So, to wrap this up, I kind of wish that Max Kellerman and Stephen A. had touched on that a little bit more, because I think they're sort of overhyping things. Conor McGregor surprised a lot of people, but the question is, would he have been so surprising had he been in there against a true knockout artist? So to me, this fight was handpicked to make money. I think both camps knew what it was going to be. Floyd knew he could stop him in under 12. And, maybe perhaps to a degree, Floyd kind of his camp probably bought into the hype that, hey, you know what, a fight that goes the distance is a moral victory for this UFC fighter. And it was interesting to me that Floyd for once came out of his normal style. But then again, that speaks to his brilliance as a fighter and how smart he is to know how he can fight against whomever. So, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I don't want this video to go past 10 minutes, but I did just want to provide some thoughts on that fight, what I saw and what I think. I saw two guys in there where the fight was tailor-made to make money and put on a show and give people thrills, and that's exactly what it did. Hopefully, I mean, if you bet money in that fight, you didn't make a lot if you bet on Floyd, unless you bet a lot. And really, you still didn't make a lot because the odds weren't high. And if you bet on Conor, you lost your money. So, it was it was a money-generating fight all the way around, from the gate to the pay-per-view buys to the sports books. It was a moneymaker all the way around. And that fight just would not have been as interesting had you put Conor McGregor in there against a boxing knockout puncher. So now to finally wrap it up with regards to should Conor box again, I will say this. Conor's 29 years old. Bernard Hopkins was 29 when he started. If Conor goes through the normal progressions of, being a fighter who comes up through the ranks, fights 4-round fights, and then, 6, 8-round fights, 10-round fights, and then finally graduating to 12-round fights, Conor could be interesting. He has a lot to learn. And again, you can't discredit these people, these fighters that have had these extensive amateur careers where they learn boxing. They learn the X's and O's of boxing in their youth. So, respectively. So, that's about all I have. Should Conor box again? And not unless he's going to come up through the ranks and have a true boxing career where you start from the bottom. There's just not another fight out there, in my opinion, where he's going to look good. So I think Conor should probably stay in the UFC arena. But hey, it was a good show, And all said, Conor looked good. You can't take that away from him. I talked about the reasons why he looked good, but I mean, nonetheless, he looked good. So it's just you had two guys there that were tailor made for each other. Um, Floyd made Conor look good in that Floyd didn't fight his normal Floyd Mayweather fight, and he came forward and allowed Conor to hit him some. Conor looked good because he was fighting a guy like Floyd Mayweather that doesn't have thunder in his hands. So and that chose not to fight like Floyd Mayweather. So there you have it. Both these guys made each other look good. They both made a lot of money, and we can all go back to getting ready for the NFL, fantasy football, whatever. Hey guys, this is Matt. I know I haven't done a sports video in a while, but college football season's coming up, and I'll probably be on here some more talking about my Clemson Tigers. It's going to be interesting to see what they look like now in the post Deshaun Watson era. But anyway, hey, God bless you guys. Have a great week, and don't work too hard. Peace.